Hello everyone and welcome to my class to continue with the fifth chapter of the Age of Industrialization of class 10th history. In this video I will be talking about what happened to the weavers in India, what problems they faced, right? So let's begin the topic. When East India Company came to India, there were already many European companies were doing trade with India, right? Like the Portuguese, the French, Dutch, and the East India Company faced a stiff competition with these European trading companies, right? It was after the 1780s that the East India Company started gaining importance in Indian or gaining profit from Indian trade, right? This happened because the East India Company, they won the territories in India. They, after defeating the Indian rulers, they started ruling the Indian territories, and then they used this as an opportunity to expand their trade in Indian soil, right? So when the East India Company gained territorial control, it proceeded to develop a system of management and control, right? After consolidating their power in India, what happened, they started expanding their trade. They developed a system of management and control which eliminate competition, their competition with other European companies and the Indian merchants and traders. Then it also controlled the costs, right? And ensure regular supplies of cotton and silk goods, right? So all these things happened only after when East India Company gained territories in India, right? Because now the things were in their hand, they established themselves as a power in India, they were ruling India. So they developed this kind of system that they can easily eliminate the other European trading companies and the Indian merchants and traders who were giving competition to the East India Company, right? Now various steps were taken by them for expanding their trade in India, like they appointed the Gomastas. Appointment of Gomastas were the paid servants of East India Company, the English servants. They used to visit to different villages, and they used to develop a link with the craft persons directly, right? When Gomastas were appointed, the middlemen or the Indian merchants or the Indian suppliers, they eliminated them. The intermediary between the East India Company and the Indian craft persons, that intermediaries were kept aside, and Gomastas developed a direct link with the craft persons, right? So there were many functions that were performed by Gomastas. They were the paid English servants. They used to visit to different villages and places where they can develop a direct trading connection with the craft persons, and by giving them advances, they ensures that the craft person will going to produce goods only for East India Company, and the craft person cannot sell their goods to other European companies or other Indian traders, right? So this was another important function of Gomastas. Then they supervised the work done by the craft persons, and then they ensures a regular supply of goods given to the East India Company, and for that they many times use their powers. They display their power. They usually go with the police or with the soldiers, so that if they didn't get the regular delivery of the goods, then they use that power. So all these steps were taken by the East India Company to ensure a regular trade with the Indian people, right? And to maintain their dominancy over the Indian trade. Now Manchester comes to India. Now what happened when or what problems were faced by the weavers in India? Let's see. With the growth of cotton industries in England, initially Indian cotton and silk textile were dominating the western markets, or the international market, right? But with the growth of the textile industry in England, what happened now, the mill owners, the merchants in Britain, they started pressurizing the government to put a heavy import duties on the goods which are brought from other countries, especially from India, because there was a huge demand of Indian cotton and silk textile. So they wanted the government to put a heavy import duties on Indian cotton and silk textiles, so that their indigenous industry, the British industries, they could not face any kind of competition with the foreign goods, right? So this ensures them a secure domestic market, right? So first thing that was done was imposing heavy import duty on Indian cotton and silk. This reduces the demand of the Indian cotton and silk in Britain. This ensured the growth of Manchester cotton industry in England. Then they persuaded the East India Company to use Manchester goods, to carry Manchester good to the colonies and for selling purpose. So the colonies became the markets for the British industries, right? So firstly, they cut the demand of the Indian textile by imposing heavy import duties on Indian textile. Secondly, whatever they were producing in their industries, that were brought by the East India Company to India and sold in Indian markets. So this gave a competition to the Indian weavers. They start losing their buyers in Indian market as well as in international market, right? So they started facing a stiff competition with the manufactured goods of Manchester or England, which were comparatively cheaper in price, right? Now export of British cotton goods increased in colonies in early 19th century. Export of British goods, now the British manufactured goods were bought in India and it was sold in Indian market. This gave a competition to the weavers. The Indian weavers faced stiff competition, no doubt, with the manufactured or industry made good. Their export collapsed because heavy import duty was imposed on Indian goods. Then local market also shrank because now people started preferring the machine made goods, which were comparatively cheaper in price, right? By 1860s, they could not get sufficient supply of raw cotton. This again added problem to, this was again a burden on them, because they failed to get the raw cotton. Reason being, raw cotton was largely exported to Britain for their industries, right? So the Indian weavers, they were not able to find the raw cotton for producing goods. Moreover, the condition became worse when the American Civil War started, because earlier America used to supply raw cotton to British industries. But since America was undergoing through a phase of civil war, what happened, that the growth of raw cotton was declined, and Britain turned to India for a regular supply of raw cotton. Britain started using India, the biggest colony of Britain, as a supplier of raw cotton for their own industries. So maximum raw cotton was exported to British industries, right? So the Indian weavers, they were not able to find the raw cotton, right? So these were the problems faced by the Indian weavers. So this, by the end of the 19th century, again another important came, which was the development of Indian industries. Till so far they were facing problem with the British industries, but this was the time, by the end of 19th century, the Indian industries also grew. Now this also added a burden on the weavers, because now they are facing competition with the Indian industries also. So what happened with the weavers? They left their traditional age old tradition of doing weaving, and they became laborers, agricultural laborers. They left their occupation of weaving, and they became laborers, right? So these were the problems faced by the weavers in India, right? This is an important topic. Many time question comes on this topic: what were the problems faced by the weavers in India, right? So this is all about what happened to the weavers. Hope you liked it, and please like, share and review, and please subscribe this channel. Thank you.